It was about 2 years ago, and myself and my mate had just graduated from college. We decided to celebrate, as we do, and we went into Tesco on the way home from college, and we found that a €15 box of Heineken, which was great, so we got one each. And we decided to just drink through the day, a very simple plan. And there's nothing more, I thoroughly recommend, there's nothing more surreal and funny than watching kids' TV when you're a bit wasted. Like Balnamore and all that get a massive level of surrealism when you're a bit pissed. It got to about 3 or 4 o'clock in the day, and we were gone. We were shams of men. We got to the point where we weren't putting the bottles back into the box, we were just fucking them into the fireplace. And that's when the girl I was dating at the time showed up. And in fairness to her, she did not bat an eyelid at two grown men sitting there in their t-shirts and their boxers watching kids' TV with a load of beer. Just grabbed a bottle of vodka and said, "What are we watching?" And we decided, as the day went on, we decided to go out. Unfortunately, by this point, we drank enough alcohol to kill a person. Every single bouncer that took one look at us just went, "She can come in. You two just fucking go home." So we weren't going to get in anywhere. So we were walking back through Mountjoy Square, and we'd passed a strip club on the way, and Jess in her drunken state decided, I think I'd be great as a stripper. I think I'd be really good. I'd be brilliant. And my mate had this thing with her where he would he'd love to rile her up and annoy her. Okay, it was kind of a competition thing. I mean, she had my heart and he had my liver. And he was started saying, "Please, you're too shy. I'd take my clothes off in public quicker than you would." And this obviously got to her. So she stopped and she faced us. And it was a cold night, she was wearing a coat. And in this kind of very slow, deliberate, throwing down the gauntlet, she unbuttoned the coat, threw it down, and stood like this. And he looked her up and down. And not to be undone, no pun intended, he unbuckled his trousers and threw them down as well. And thus began this ridiculous kind of game of strip tennis, back and forth, with me standing in the middle, with a really awkward voyeur. Eventually, she was standing there with frilly underwear kind of stuff on and a hand over the nipular regions. And he was standing there in his boxers, like a frontiersman standing out proud. And I thought this is where it would stop. I hoped it was where it would stop. But Mark, to kind of have the last word, pulled down the boxers and stood there proud as an Irish man can be in cold weather. And that's when the guards walked around the corner. This big fuck off, built in a shipyard, male guard, and this wee petite vanguarder stroll up. And the male guard just looks at the two of them and said, "Sorry lads, what are you doing?" And Jess kind of shuffled into a position of modesty and said, we're having a strip off." And the vanguarder looked my friend Mark up and down and said, "Sorry, sweetheart, I think she's winning."